We've used the Properties panel to set the look and feel for our different objects and their behavior. A lot of times in programming, we're going to change the values of properties for objects in code. I have here an example of a form with a label. The label is called LBL Campus, and there's a button named BTN Change Properties. The code for that button is changing several properties. There's 7 different properties that are being altered here, and we'll look at these a little more closely. Let me just go ahead and run this so you can see this function. So when I click this button, it changed the text in the label, the font of the label, the back color, and the fore color of the label, and the text alignment for the label. It changed the size of the button, and it changed the back color of our form. So let's take a little closer look at the code itself. First at the C# code, and then I'll show you the Visual Basic code. The general format for changing properties in code is the name of the instance, a dot or period, the name of the property, equals, and then whatever value you want to set it to. And in C#, we're going to end that statement with a semicolon. So here's my block of code from the C# demonstration, and I'm going to blow that code up a little bit down here so it's a little more visible. But I have 7 lines that are changing 7 different properties. And so when this block executes, the very first line sets the text of my label to South Mountain CC. And you'll notice that that is in quotes. That is a literal string, because otherwise the compiler would not understand what South Mountain CC is. So by putting it in quotes, the compiler ignores that and treats it just as a literal string. So that's what the text is changed to. The next line changes the alignment of that text through the text align property, and it's being set to a value of middle center, which is a value of the content alignment class. And so we have to specify the class and the value in this case. One nice thing with the IntelliSense of Visual Studio, after you type lblcampus.textalign equals, the IntelliSense is going to show you content alignment as the logical choice to make there. Once you do that and type the period, the IntelliSense would then show you the 9 different options for content alignment, one of which is middle center. So you can use that IntelliSense feature in coding to really help you figure out what you need there as far as the different values. Then we're going to set the back color property to deep sky blue, and again that is a value of the color class. We're going to set the fore color to white, again a value of the color class. Then we're going to change the font. Now this is a little bit different in that a font is an object. So in order to change the font, I have to create a new font object. And that's what this word new does with this font statement and the parentheses. Anytime you see parentheses, that tells you it is a method. This is a special kind of method called a constructor. And so here we're constructing a new font object. That the font family is going to be Courier New. The size is 18 point, and we're going to set the style to bold. That font object is created, and then the font of LBL Campus is set to that. Then we're going to change the height property of our button to 100 pixels. We'll see that button expand. And then finally, I changed the color or the back color of the form itself. And in C#, we reference the form by the word this. And we'll see in a minute here in VB, we use the word me instead of this. So you can see the examples here of before the click and after the click. You can see how the label has changed, and how the button has changed, and how the form has changed. And here's the same thing in Visual Basic. Same general format, the name of the instance, dot property equals some value. There is no semicolon at the end of statements in VB. Here's our block of code. And the code is essentially exactly the same, except there are no semicolons at the end of the lines. And instead of this, we use the keyword me, which refers to the form.